So, ever since I was a kid, I felt like I stood out. I don't really know why I felt out of place, I kinda just did. I moved schools every couple of years, so I never really fell into that comfortable place, and I moved out of my home country of New Zealand at age of 8. That was away from all the people that I had known for quite a while, and familiar friends. Growing up in Australia meant constantly rethinking my identity, what it means to be an Asian growing up in a typically more Caucasian community, basically losing my identity and culture as a Chinese Malaysian person, and assimilating with the culture surrounding me, just so I could fit in a bit better. I remember going to school and living in more Caucasian neighborhoods, and when visiting more Asian ones, feeling more out of place. Aside from heading back to Malaysia and Singapore to visit relatives from time to time, I wasn't really used to being in a more Asian environment. Everywhere I went, I was so used to the culture that wasn't my own, and when I finally experienced my own, I felt out of place. That's one of the main issues I faced when I was growing up as an Asian Australian. I think one of the main things that helped me through my time feeling out of place was the creative and performing arts. A lot of the time I would turn to things like music or acting to help me feel like I had an idea of who I was. I remember being able to express myself through my arts, conveying my emotions and how I felt through performance. Because even if I didn't feel like I fit in, I still felt like I could stand on my own whenever I was performing. But sometimes I just couldn't help feeling it from time to time. It's that consistent feeling of wherever you go, there isn't exactly a solid place for you to stand. There's no established ground made by people before me, no instructions on how to be a good first-generation immigrant. No one was telling me how to live the Aussie lifestyle or interact with Aussies. I didn't even know about all the slang that came with it. Because it's easy to repeat something that you've been taught, but when you're the one pioneering it, especially without a map or some sort of guide, wherever you're going in blind. My point is, growing up an Asian Australian is a constant struggle of identity, and it can kind of suck. Even at my age of 20, studying at university, I don't really have an understanding of who I am, what my culture is, or even really how to represent myself. I still don't necessarily feel part of a clique or group, and I haven't even really got in touch with my culture's culture. But I don't really mind walking this blurred line. And I guess, in the meantime, I can enjoy some milk tea like a true Asian Australian.